In today's world, we often find ourselves overwhelmed by external influences such as change of circumstances, expectations of others, and constant flow of information. These external influences often easily disturb our inner peace and we react to them impulsively. But it is exactly at these moments of chaos that the significance of not reacting and calmness become clear. While the world tempts you to react, the true power lies in the profound stillness of not reacting. When we react, we surrender our inner power to external circumstances and let them shape our state of being. That makes us feel like victims of these circumstances. Without tapping into our inner power, life becomes a series of difficulties and challenges that we endlessly struggle to overcome. When we are in that state, we feel like we have lost control over our life. And that feeling increases our fear, which then limits us and prevents us from living to our fullest potential. But why would we allow that to happen? When we are not conscious and aware enough, which means our mind is still in charge instead of us, then we don't get to choose our responses to external or internal stimuli. We simply react automatically according to our emotional patterns and then feel guilty for reacting that way. Later, when we are triggered, as soon as we are triggered, we react exactly the same way and we go through the same cycle. When we finally awaken, a higher level of consciousness comes in. We understand we are not our thoughts and emotions, but we are the observer. In that state, we get to witness ourselves going through this cycle. That awareness brings about the power of choice. Now we are able to choose to respond instead of reacting. Now we don't get entangled in our patterns of emotions and thoughts. We become the master of our mind rather than our mind being in charge. Not reacting is a profound state of being that transcends the impulsive reaction to external stimuli. It is about creating a conscious pause between an event and our response to it. In this space of stillness, we discover the transformative power of choice. Not reacting allows us to respond powerfully from a place of inner wisdom and calm. Calmness opens the door to self reflection and a deeper understanding of ourselves. It allows us to connect with our inner being and discover the power of non attachment, understanding that our true happiness doesn't really depend on external outcomes. By not reacting, we reclaim our power and free ourselves from the endless cycle of emotional turmoil. Calmness isn't about not having any problems. It is a conscious choice to remain centered and grounded when we are faced with life's challenges. But don't mistake numbness for calmness. Calmness is a deliberate choice to stay grounded and centered while we are being fully aware of our emotions. Numbness, however, shows a lack of emotional responsiveness that often comes from disconnection or suppression of emotions. In numbness, we are not conscious enough to have a choice in the matter. We react simply with no emotions. To stop impulsive reactions to external and internal stimuli, we need to become self aware. The base of any effective approach to not reacting is to create stillness and then respond. That stillness creates a mental space that allows us to observe our emotions and understand them, which means we become self aware. And then we get to choose how to respond. We want to respond from a place that is aligned with our true self. In this journey, spiritual practices like deep breathing or meditation can help us stay present and prevent emotional patterns from taking control and, as a result, react impulsively. In this process, self reflection is important. When we become curious about ourselves while being compassionate, we can gradually replace our reactive tendencies with conscious responses. Understanding why we get triggered, in what situations we are more likely to react impulsively, And acknowledging our reactive behaviors help us become more conscious. Through power of consciousness, we transform these reactions and become peaceful. With consistent practice and a commitment to our awakening journey, we get to break the cycle of these impulsive reactions to external stimuli. In my journey of spiritual growth, I realized that my reactions to external stimuli were mainly caused not by the event itself, but by my suppressed emotion, which started building up when I was a child. If you haven't dealt with your pent-up emotions, you tend to get triggered more easily and react impulsively. In my journey, I also understood that I'm not my thoughts and emotions, and I can observe them as soon as they arise. When I observe them, then I detach myself from them, and that gives me the power to respond more authentically. At the beginning of my journey, every time I faced an external stimuli, I noticed myself wanting to react immediately. But after some practice, I managed to catch myself. And over time, that tendency to react immediately decreased, and I started making better choices. With my emotions no longer clouding my thinking, I became more curious about the situation and myself. That helped me change my perception about that situation and respond more positively. So, when you are in a situation where your emotions are triggered, take a step back, take a few breaths, then analyze the situation calmly and respond in alignment with who you truly are. At first, it is very difficult and you would get overtaken by your dominant emotions. But as you practice, it becomes easier and your presence becomes stronger. What is crucial in this process is being compassionate and non judgmental toward yourself. When you react impulsively, don't criticize yourself and stay present. Thinking like you failed or feeling ashamed that you lost it again means that you have become unconscious. So, becoming unconscious on the top of the unconscious reactions that you had. So, accept your humanness and move forward. The importance of not reacting goes beyond bringing us peace, which is fabulous on its own. But when we are calm and when we don't react, we open the door to a spiritual growth. When we are calm, we create a space for listening to the whispers of our inner being and discovering deeper truths. When we are practicing to stay calm during a chaos, then we learn the power of detachment. We understand that true happiness isn't tied to external outcomes. By letting go of the need for validation and control, we free ourselves from the ups and downs of life and find serenity in the present moment. Living in the present is a key part of spiritual wisdom that allows us to fully enjoy life without being burdened by past regrets or future worries. The path to joy, love, and peace requires courage, discipline, and a willingness to let go of old patterns and conditioning. But the rewards far outweigh their challenges. In this journey, we need to remember that joy, love, and peace are the essence of consciousness. Consciousness has no conditions. All conditions come from the mind. It is also good to remember that our calm presence can inspire others to start their own journey and find peace within themselves. Thank you for being with me today. If you like my video, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Until next week.